disappointed in Mike. I wanted him to pull up. Because my whole thing is I came on the show and I told him exactly what would take place tonight.
We're live, bro. we are live here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. We're doing our very first. Yes, we're doing our very first post game. Brandon, can I do my intro, please? We're live right now. Okay.
Oh, what the hell?
Yes.
You gotta warn me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We are live right now on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network doing a live post game of Game 2 of the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Portland Trailblazers. Special shout out to Ray Jarvis. He hit me up. He said, Carl, if we can go live right now, I need to address this situation. So I called the man, Mr. Errol Marks, and I said, Errol, can we go live on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network? He said, Carl, we can. So I contacted my contributors, and here we are. So Ray Jarvis, you wanted the live. The Lakers defeat the Trailblazers by a final score of 111-88, 23 points on the back of Anthony Davis, double-double, 31 points and 11 rebounds. Ray, the floor is yours, my brother.
I just want to say to everyone who flooded social media after Game 1 when the Blazers advanced to the second round of the playoffs to please keep that same energy. I shouldn't have to put posts up looking for people who flooded my comments. Jason Ben, Glenn, Coach Womack, who's trying to backtrack because he know what he was doing on the live yesterday, trying to pretend as if, I picked the Lakers, but your energy wasn't with the Lakers, Coach. All of you people who fronted when I told you that the Lakers played a hell of a defensive game in Game 1. They got every look they wanted in Game 1, and they just missed shots in Game 1, and that would not continue. And lo and behold, Game 2, they played the same exceptional defense. They got the same looks, and they made them. And when the starters were in the game, it was a 30-point blowout. I'm not saying every game is going to be a 30-piece, but listen, I said Lakers in 5, and I'm doubling down. I doubled down after Game 1. I didn't move off that 5 because we're in the bubble. There is no home court advantage. There is no crowd-based momentum swings. So as long as the Lakers play their game and they make those shots and they continue to defend at the elite level that they defend, all of you jabronis on social media are just going to be upset. Come see me in the comments. Do not hide. Mike Miller, you had that jokey take on the show yesterday. Now we can't find you tonight. Where you at, Mike? Between Pippen not being a superstar or Reggie Mills being a superstar, and the Lakers played poor defense, but somehow they played great defense in both games. A team that was putting up 120 nightly in the bubble, all of a sudden they're struggling to score 100 points, but they played bad defense. Where you at, Mike? Where you at? Huh? You got curfew? Where you at, Mike?
Yeah. I want to know where Mike Miller is.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Okay, time out. Listen, I tried to get in contact, and you know, guys, I'm pretty honest in how we run this sports broadcasting. Ray hit me up. He said, Carl, can we go live? I contacted who I can contact, whoever was the first to pick up the phone, a.k.a. Ray Jarvis's word. Ray picked up the phone. Brandon picked up the phone. Marcus picked up the phone. Here we are. So, Falco, what are your thoughts?
Curfew in Harlem? Where you at, Mike?
He's in Texas. He's not in Harlem. But, Falco, what are your thoughts about Falco? The others actually showed up. Contavious Caldwell-Pope hit some three-pointers. Danny Green finally got a shot going for himself. We saw JaVale McGee play a great game. What are your thoughts on the others showing up and helping out Anthony Davis and LeBron?
Greg
Brandon, hold on real quick. I really hate to do this to you, but Carl, first of all, show me some respect. I haven't been on screen in months.
Oh, here we go. You're right. I was going to get to you. I was saving the best for last, Marcus. How about that? I will. But
how you going to pull up late to stop Brandon from talking, bro?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay, Marcus, you're going to get your turn. Let Brandon go, and then I'll give you a formal introduction. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Brandon, Falco, back to my question. What were your thoughts on how the others showed up in this game today for Game 2?
I find it so weird that the other night when the Lakers lost Game 1, that it looked like the Blazers just came off 3 straight titles and that LeBron didn't make the playoffs for 3 straight years. Like, if you are on social media, you would actually think that the Blazers would have just three-peated. But now the Clippers lost yesterday. I didn't hear a word. And then the Lakers have a 30-point blowout, still don't hear a word. But a few things I want to address that I saw in the first half, which definitely they need to fix moving forward. First, at the top, LeBron. LeBron needs to become a scorer. I don't want to say, oh, well, he's old. He had too many months off. He needs to save himself. You had 5 months off. He needs to become a scorer and attack the basket more than he is. He's doing that little back down thing that he does and tries to make a point-blank layup, and he keeps clanking it. His post game is terrible. He needs to fix that. And when he's attacking the rim, he did on a few times, he's not finishing through contact. When LeBron is at his best, he's barreling through contact and going through the rim. That's when he's finishing. The times he's missing, he's like stopping and pausing at the rim, and that's where he's missing those chippy layups. Now let's go to some other guys. Danny Green, Carl, I don't care. He's the worst player in the NBA. Danny Green is so atrocious.
Wait, man, we're not going to disrespect Danny Green. Leave my guy alone. I'm sorry.
Yes, we
are.
are.
Not going to do it. We're not going to do it. I'm not going to stand for that.
If the Lakers are paying him $14.7 million, figure it out. Hit shots when the ball comes your way.
He's struggling in the bubble. That's all I'm going to say. He's struggling.
In San Antonio, we've seen him do it last year in the playoffs with the Raptors. I want the same thing with the Lakers. And here's one thing that I can't stand with Frank Vogel. He needs to make adjustments. Why J.R. Smith was playing is beyond me. But guys like Alex Caruso, why is he getting minutes? I don't care that he's white. He's balding at the age of 25 or 26, and he jumps really high for a white guy. That doesn't matter. Dion Waiters is one of the X factors for this team if the Lakers want to win a championship. He gives them a spark plug off the bench where he can create his own shot and someone else who could put the ball on the floor and create his own shot outside of LeBron, especially when he's down on the floor. With Rondo out especially, the Lakers have no other facilitator besides LeBron, but the closest thing that they have to a playmaker is Dion Waiters, the fact that he could finish at the rim by putting the ball on the floor. Another guy I want to commend, Anthony Davis. Wow. The Blazers had absolutely no answer for him. He was aggressive from the tip on the offensive end, defensive end. He was a monster. He needs to be keep playing like this, especially in rounds later. If the Lakers do beat the Blazers, not going to jump the gun, going to keep the same energy. If they play the Rockets next round, he should average 35 plus points a game because the Rockets' tallest guy in their lineups, PJ Tucker, at like 6'7". And then another guy I want to address, KCP. Shout out to Greg Polius. You owe me a huge apology for trashing me that the Lakers should start KCP. A huge bounce back game. I believe he had 16 points within 3 quarters. He really gave a spark plug. He's finally hitting shots when the ball's coming his way. But as a team, as a whole, they were lights out defensively. They were up in guys. They slowed down Damian Lillard. CJ McCollum got his, but they shut him. They contained him for the most part, but great team win. And these things got to keep moving forward. But if the Lakers want to make some noise in this playoff run, if they want to win a championship, LeBron can't be the Magic Johnson facilitator. They say, oh, well, he's such a great facilitator. He's facilitating like Magic Johnson. That's great. We know he's a facilitator. But if the Lakers want to win, he needs to be scoring. And against better teams like maybe the Rockets, definitely the Clippers or the Bucks in the finals, he needs to average probably 30-plus points a game. He's honestly my biggest concern right now because I like what I see from the rest of the team, to be quite honest with you.
And finally, Marcus Lamar coming in last. I saw that reaction, Marcus. Marcus and I were having discussions during the game, and we were questioning Frank Vogel's rotation and what he was doing with his team. Marcus, what are your thoughts on Frank Vogel and how the Lakers were able to bounce back to tie the series?
Well, I'm just going to go straight at Brandon. So first, when he said they say that LeBron's a great facilitator, you're they. Like, you also say this too, like religiously, like every day, every hour, you remind people about how great of a facilitator LeBron is. So let's address that. Number 2, if your biggest takeaway from tonight's game is that the Lakers won by 20 plus points and that LeBron only had 10 and that you're worried about LeBron, most coaches would dream of a situation in which their best player would quote unquote play poorly or not score as much and their team would still win by double digits. If that's your biggest takeaway, then I don't know what you're watching. Maybe we're watching different games. Carl and I, we did have a passionate exchange about Frank Vogel. You don't like Frank Vogel's in-game adjustments. I'm not going to overreact after each individual game because I understand that's what casuals do. Basketball is a game of runs. If you watch basketball, you know that it's a game of runs. It's not like football where on any given Sunday, a team could potentially win. The way a 7-game series is designed is that the best team is generally going to win 99 out of 100 times. Very rarely do you have upsets. Going into this series, we knew what the Blazers brought to the table and we knew what the Lakers brought to the table. The Lakers' X factor is sitting home with his child and his family, and that's Avery Bradley. Dion Waiters, the same people that are clamoring for Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith to be inserted into the lineup because KCP, Alex Caruso, and Danny Green can't hit the broadside of a barn, are the same people that were ridiculing the Lakers for picking up Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith. And this is why I can't engage with basketball casuals because they're fickle like the stock market. 1 minute, they're really hot on the player. The next minute, they're cold on the player. Danny Green, according to Brandon, is the worst player in NBA history, which is ridiculous. Danny Green is struggling from downtown. Like, that's, if he's not hitting threes out there, he literally is rendered useless because he can't create his own shot off the dribble and he's not an elite defender. However, he's getting good looks. I can live with a player who's struggling from deep or struggling to find his shot if the looks are there. If he's being like contested or whatever the case may be, or if he's just like there's no one in the vicinity of him and he can't hit anything, then it might be problematic. But again, who do the Lakers really have to rely on? Anthony Davis and LeBron James are the two big dogs. It's a top-heavy roster. We know that. Outside of those two, we don't know what we're going to get from Skinny Jeans Kuzma on any given night. JaVale McGee, I think, actually sometimes is a detriment to them because he has no offensive output, like whatsoever. He has no offensive output. Dwight Howard, I understand, is a very integral part in terms of defense and coming off the bench, but I'm not worried about this series. Look, I picked the Lakers to beat the Blazers in 5. Can it go 6 games, maybe 7 games potentially? But at the end of the day, as long as the Lakers win this series, if you're a Lakers fan or LeBron supporter, who gives a rip? That's what this is about. It's about advancing to the next round. If it's 5 games, 6 games, or 7 games, who cares?
I mean,
Ray, go ahead, Ray.
I'm just gonna jump in. I'm kind of in the middle between Brandon and Marcus when it comes to this. I would like to see more Dion Waiters. I believe that what he brings, forget the other guards, not even J.R. Smith so much, but I was on the Dion Waiters campaign for months prior to signing him because I felt like the last piece to the Lakers puzzle was a guard who could create for himself and he could create for others. He can attack the basket, he can score, etc. You know what I mean? We saw that in little moments during the bubble action. We even saw it. They had a couple of plays tonight where you saw him create the shot didn't fall, but he got in there, he made something happen. I just like that he's a bit of a wild card that the Lakers would need. To JaVale McGee, I actually believe that he was a key component in building that lead because if you notice in the first half, Coach stuck with McGee a little bit longer than he normally would. I think McGee usually gets out of there about like the 4 or 5 minutes.
Hold on, Ray. Sorry, I hate to interrupt, but we have a breaking person coming in. The pastor himself.
Bring him here.
The pastor himself is coming.
Oh, where's the energy?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, guys. Listen.
Say
Time
something.
out. Let me give him an introduction. Mr. Miller, I understand you watch games DVR'd, but you were called upon to come in late to discuss the Lakers winning.
Of course.
So we had to get you, and here you are.
I knew. Listen, I knew who you had in here, Brandon. You are a coward.
Where you at?
Wait, time out.
Hold on,
Let's
let
be
me
clear.
talk to Brandon first.
I called you here. It wasn't Brandon.
No,
it wasn't Marcus. I called you here.
I have to address Brandon first.
Yeah.
Yo, my bro. After game 1, where was you? I called you on Instagram. What happened?
I said nothing, and you know what? I said nothing. I don't need to brag about a first-round series. I don't
don't want to hear from you this whole second. I don't want to hear from you then. Ray, holla at me. You my man. You call me in. I don't want to hear from you. Quiet after the first loss, so I don't want to hear from you.
Yo,
Ray,
like I was saying, JaVale McGee
Yeah.
played some more minutes. I felt like his energy was felt early on. He had a couple of dunks. He made some defensive plays. He had a couple of strong rebounds. I felt like JaVale got more minutes, and he made the use of it. And the team kind of fed off that energy. JaVale is an energy guy. They kind of use him tonight how the Warriors used him a couple years ago, where you rock him out 6 to 8 minutes in the first quarter. And if he gives you something positive, the team feeds off of it. But to you, Mike Miller, you came on the show yesterday, and I laid out the entire format for you for how the Lakers would win. And I want you to give me my due because you had a lot of smoke yesterday. And I told you, they would get whatever shot they wanted, and they would not shoot the way they shot, and they would still defend the way they defended, and they would win the game. So talk that talk now.
Was we talking about the game or the series?
The game.
The game and the series, brother. My energy has not changed.
My energy hasn't changed either. It's 1-1. Is it 1-1? I said, yo, bro, you think one game was now gonna? You see?
Nah, your energy wasn't that yesterday, Mike. Don't do that. Don't do that, Mike.
You think
Don't do
one
that,
game?
Mike.
You
your
think
energy? That wasn't the energy. No,
bro, I could have let. Bro, you think one game now means I'm changing my pick?
Mike,
you bugging, bro. I've been watching.
I don't want you to change your pick. I want you to understand that you are once again picking off emotion and not off logic, and you outside looking crazy.
Bro,
once
you
again,
keep saying that, bro. You keep
emotional. I'm about to take the title from Carl, bro. You emotional, bro. You're not being logical.
Why you think you called me? Because you love me.
Not at
his
all.
emotional
Nah,
toxicity.
of course, it's
me.
love. It's
You
love,
love me.
but I gotta show you how ridiculous that you
Okay,
look on
so
wax.
okay, so let me ask this: what are we looking towards for Game 3 right now? The series is tied 1-1. There's no home court advantage. Who really has the leverage here? It's a series tied 1-1. The Blazers got the best of Lakers in Game 1, and now the Lakers got the best of the Blazers in Game 2. What are we looking for in Game 3, Mike?
Well, first of all, we need to know how Damian Lillard's dislocated fingers going.
Oh, now we talking excuses.
Now we talking about fingers. Unbelievable.
Stop
It's
it.
always
Stop
something.
it.
LeBron's
Stop
always
it.
got to get the easy way out.
Unbelievable.
Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait. Let him
LeBron punched
finish.
the wall and went to the podium with a cast, and I didn't hear the end of it.
Okay,
Right?
listen,
So
guys.
now we're talking about dislocated fingers.
Guys,
Pop
listen.
fingers back in
Okay.
the plate.
Carl, I blame you for this. Because after, oh no, you're right. We did talk after Game 1, so you're right. I was just about to say to myself, I was like, hold on, why did this happen now? But it's all good. No, I think Portland's going to make the adjustments they need to make. I've never seen AD do this ever in my life, so there's no reason to believe he'll do it again.
Never seen AD do.
So what?
What is going on? What are you talking about?
Playoff game, score 31 and 3/4.
Mike, you're not that bad. No, stop. I know.
Raise your hand if you ever seen AD score 31 and 3/4.
He did it in the first game with the buzzer in the bubble against the Clippers. Are you kidding me?
In the play. Oh, hold on. Let me say this.
Hold on. No, stop.
I don't know how to say it in Spanish.
No, stop it. He lit
I
on
don't want you to speak to me. I already told you. You can't speak to me. Because after Game 1, I asked you to speak to me. You said the Lakers was going to win in 3. You can't speak to me. Now, to the fellas. You can't speak to me. To the fellas. I think Portland can make adjustments. I think they can still make shots. I don't believe the Lakers defense can do this forever. So I'm still picking Portland, but I'm going to keep it real to my people. People, that was a legit. I text my man, who's a Laker fan. I text him. I said that was a legitimate beat him down. Legit. Like that was a legit.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Okay.
Listen. The Lakers.
I can't stand. You're saying that you don't think the Lakers could play defense like that, but the Lakers in Game 1 lost by 7, shooting 5 of 32 from 3-point range, at 16%. So what are they going to shoot 16% every single game of the series? And they lost by 7 doing that, and they had a 6-point lead with 7 minutes left.
Brandon,
stop it.
Okay, so then back to my original question. Just again, what are we looking forward for Game 3, Ray? What are you looking forward towards Game 3 again? Series tied 1-1, no home court.
What I expect in Game 3 is more of the same. We love to throw this word adjustments around in the playoffs, right? But again, sometimes teams are exactly what they are. What can Portland do differently offensively that we haven't seen all season long? Their offense, the pillars of their offense is CJ McCollum, Dame Lillard. A little bit of Melo on the side, right? That's what they do. There's not much they can do. Dame Lillard doesn't have a mid-post game that he could operate out of, that you could change where he's positioned on the floor. Maybe you could do a little bit different with CJ McCollum. They're not going to feature Carmelo Anthony that much either. So the fact remains is their best guns is what they're going to come with. The Lakers have been one of the all-world defensive teams all season long. So to say that they're not going to defend is absolute. It's ridiculous. They defend. If anything, their offense has been a bit, mid-tier as far as three-point shooting goes. But defensively, they are there. So to say they're not going to do that is crazy. Once again, you're talking with emotion. You're not being logical. It's going to be more of the same. If you want to say the Blazers might win one more game, it's possible, but it's not happening. This series is done. Lakers in 5. I'm giving y'all to take y'all one. It's over with. Brandon, I'm upset with you because you jumped off the ship just a day ago talking about you're not sure. Now you back with the energy tonight. Take them jerseys down, bro.
Okay, Marcus, do you
here
agree
for.
with Ray for Game 3? Do you agree with what he just said? Is it over in 5, or what are you looking for Game 3? Because Dame is going to have an answer.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Ray. So Brandon is like, I don't know if he's sponsored by Flip Flops, but he should be. All over the place. Right? All over the place. Before this series started, I picked the Lakers in 5. But enough about Brandon. I want to go at Mike Miller because I know I've been going for a minute, but Mike, you slipping, bro. First of all, I just looked at a stat. I'm watching TV right now, SportsCenter wrap up. The Lakers shot 14 to 38 from 3 tonight, which was 36%, which is above or right at league average.
That's good.
So not only did they shoot more threes than they did in Game 1, but obviously the difference is they hit 9 more. Mike, if I held a gun to your head, which I obviously wouldn't because I like you, right? Or put you on a lie detector test, There's no fiber in your body that truly believes that Portland is going to win this series. But I know what you're doing. You're doing this because you got to keep up your persona, and I get it. I really do get it. This is
Whoa, he's pulling your card. Wow.
This is on brand for you, Mike. I'm disappointed because
No, I'm a pastor. I'm not a sports analyst. Like, I'm a pastor.
No, Mike, because
that's not my brand. My brand is Jesus Christ.
Mike, I watched every minute of y'all segment, which was my favorite segment on the show yesterday. Every single minute of it, I was glued in, right? And I'll address y'all saying Steve Nash is a superstar another day. But let me get to what you said. You picked the Heat to beat the Pacers. Your Pacers, we hear, right? You picked them to lose in 6 games. But when it somehow came to the Lakers, now all of a sudden the Lakers is looking shaky, baby. Like, stop it. You don't believe
bro, what are you talking about? I actually gave reasons. It's not like I'm saying, if I can pick against my own team, why do y'all think that I care about LeBron more than I care about the Pacers? You know I've been watching basketball. First of all, I've been watching basketball longer than you've been alive. So I've been watching basketball longer than LeBron's been in the league.
LeBron lives rent-free in your head. Stop.
No, LeBron, you brought his name up. You love him. You worship him. I do not.
So Brandon, do you agree with the rest of the panel about Game 3? Do you believe that it's over in 5 and the Lakers will continue what they did in the third game?
I don't want to jump the ship and just say it's over. Like Damian Lillard's finger, yeah, could that be a difference maker? Sure, but guys, I wanted to address that people that we didn't. I gotta agree with Ray. JaVale McGee has been awesome. Marcus, stop throwing shade at him. JaVale McGee is giving you great energy. He gives you lob. He gives you a couple lobs. He's a great rim protector. I got to give JaVale McGee. He's playing hard. I like what JaVale McGee's bringing.
He's a light-skinned Clint Capella with a braid at the back. Stop it. Relax.
But he serves a purpose.
No, he does. I just said that his offensive output, like that's what I question. That's all right. That's what I said.
Okay, gentlemen, to kind of
he's giving you very good impact on the defensive side of the ball. That's his job. He's playing pretty well. Dwight Howard, same thing. He gives you a lot of energy. I know he's been getting in foul trouble really early, which is kind of killing us. But I love how strong he is. He's getting extra offensive rebounds. And Kuzma, put some respect on the guy's name. Since the restart, he's been awesome. And the whole narrative all season was who's going to be the third option after LeBron and Anthony Davis. Kuzma has been exactly that since the restart. Got to put some respect on that guy's name.
He's Gary Trent.
Going to Game 3, I'm going to keep saying what I've been saying. And yes, I'm going to be honest. I am concerned. LeBron James' ability to score still. It has not looked the same since the restart. Maybe he can still flip that switch and really ramp it up, but sooner or later, he's got to be a scorer. I'm done with just the great facilitator. His jump shot looks more broke.
But Brandon, listen, we're all watching the same game. But listen, let me say something real quick. We're all watching the same game, and I watch him facilitate, and it's basically he has to pass the ball to the open guy. He's not going to pass that up. And they won. So why does he need to score? Why does he need to score if they can win at that point? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm not. I don't. Maybe they can, but I'm not. That's not going to be able to sustain throughout the whole playoffs. That he can facilitate as much as he is and not be aggressive as much as he should be, which we've seen him in the past. His jump shot is concerning. That he's scared to shoot. He's pushing the ball. He's not shooting with conviction. LeBron has proven to be a good shooter, not a great shooter, a good shooter when he shoots with conviction. He's not shooting conviction since his whole restart. He's pushing the ball. He's aiming the ball. He doesn't look confident. Doesn't look like he wanted. Sometimes he's got a little post fadeaway that he has. He's not shooting that. Sometimes he's got a little step back mid range. He's not shooting that either. In the second half, I'm not going to hold on, Marcus. I see your expression. Stop it. I know you going on it.
Y'all okay.
We would like LeBron to score, yes.
But
if the offense is flowing, we don't need the points. We need good looks. We need high efficient looks.
But that's what I'm saying is that they won with him controlling the floor and being able to find AD. Anthony Davis was dominant. Why does LeBron need to
looking at the big picture? He's saying
I'm not addressing the second half of today. I think he took 3 threes. He didn't take a shot.
Saying what's the odds of Anthony Davis playing like that?
Right. I'm not killing him for that.
What's the odds of that?
When did Anthony Davis become a crumb? What are you talking about?
Hey, Ray, I know what's operating here. Brandon wants LeBron to go out and drop 60 so he can bloviate about him.
Of course.
We know what it is. Yeah, we do.
That's slick. He's not slick.
Marcus, that's just like you the same as him. So what difference?
Hold on.
You the same as him.
Both
wear LeBron 90.
Okay, Falco, final point. You get one final point. Go.
What I'm saying about his scoring and his how many shot volume, what he did, I was in the night against Denver, the game before the All-Star break, up until the COVID hit. That's where he was scoring, and his shot volume was at the right rate. He was aggressive. He was attacking the rim, and I think he averaged 30 points up until the restart. That's what we need from him, especially.
No. I brought you on because Ray texted me and he said, "Carl, get Mike," and I did my job.
About LeBron? I don't want to hear about LeBron.
Okay, fine. So then let me ask this to wrap up the segment, because we're going to wrap up the segment. Is there any other series in the first round that stands out to you that's kind of like been intriguing?
Dallas, and Dallas
the Clippers.
And Clippers, because I had
the
Clippers sweeping them. But I'm gonna keep it real, because this is a family conversation. I'm gonna keep it real. If I see what I just saw tonight on Saturday, then all bets is off. They're gonna lose in 5.
Talk that talk. That's what I want to hear.
As the facts change, so does my opinion.
My guy.
I'm not. The NBA playoffs has always been the same, where it doesn't matter how much you lose, win or loss. It's just a game. That's what players have always said. So that's 100% true. So it's 1-1. But I'm telling you like this: if that happens again on Saturday, all bets are off. And I'll be with everybody with them losing in 5.
Well, they ain't going to Portland, so get ready. It's gonna be more
so
I ain't a fool. Like,
all right. So is it safe to say that the Clippers Mavs is the other interesting series in the first round? Can everybody else on the panel agree with that? Are we concerned about the Clippers or no?
That's a 7-piece right there.
Zero concern about the Clippers. Zero.
No, I don't have a concern. It's just fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm concerned. No, I'm concerned. They can't do nothing with Luka. They can't do nothing with KP.
They can't stop. It's an all-time.
Dallas controlled the first 2 games of that series.
Are we concerned about Pandemic P? Is that what he's going by now? Pandemic P or Playoff P?
He's on brand, baby.
I don't know what I don't know what his name is now. Go ahead, Marcus.
In game 1, the Mavericks went on a 48-18 run, and the game was tied or almost tied at halftime. That was the Mavericks literally like punching them in the mouth, and the game was still almost tied. The Clippers do not concern me. They're going to win in 5 games.
Right.
Stop.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you for joining me here on the post game of the NBA.
Carl, before you wrap it up, real quick, I got one more person to speak to. In these comments, Eddie Williams, I ain't forget about you either. You was another one thirsty about them Lakers. All of y'all, I'm calling y'all names. Y'all know where to find me. Do not hide when the Lakers win. Don't show up on the lives in the comments talking about Dallas. Come see me. Have the energy, win or lose. I'm sorry, Carl, because I'm tired of them. They're not going to hide this postseason. I'm calling everybody's name after every game.
I'm here.
All right. Well, guys.
Last point. What I sent in that chat was I find it ironic that people are saying if LeBron gets eliminated first round, he's out of the GOAT conversation, but then also saying if he wins a chip, it has an asterisk. This is out of the Mike Miller, Skip Bayless.
How is it? You love me too much. You love me too much.
Because you be
I need you to
record this nonsense, and I'm not going to let it stop. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, guys, listen. There's so many guys. Listen, there are plenty of playoff games left. I just got the green light. Shout out to Errol Marks, who's the CEO of the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. He said we can go on live after any game. So based upon the game and the results, if you guys send me a text and say, hey, you want to go on live after a game and we're available, I'm all down to do it. Thank you guys for coming on late. I know it's pretty late at night. We know media doesn't.
It's coming. It's coming.
Special shout out to Ray Jarvis. You guys please make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to the Sports Hit List by the fans, for the fans. And Mike, you always say it best. The NBA is what?
Fantastic.
Hell yeah.
Hey, all right, guys. You guys take care. Have a good night.